Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Money Mindset Hub podcast. I am your host, Carla Townsend, and I'm a money mindset and success coach for female entrepreneurs. So I help women in business to eliminate their money blocks and monetize their genius. And wow, what a week. So before we dive in, first off, to talk about how you actually can clear your money blocks once and for all, because I do get this question a lot. It's like, well, can I actually ever get really rid of my money blocks? Or why do the similar things just keep popping up? Similar tests, similar challenges. Why do I still feel stuck even though I've done so much work on my money mindset? So we're going to go into that in a moment. But first off, I actually wanted to start this with saying that one of the most common things that pop up, the most common blocks that I see is around women and pricing and earning more than what they've ever earned before. So what I'm alluding to is their income ceiling. All right. So you might be feeling like you're working so hard and you're hustling and you're doing all the things and you're doing all the energetic things and nothing's really hitting and nothing's really moving. You always seem to kind of keep like plateauing around that same amount every month. It's because you've reached an unconscious threshold. And don't worry, I have something for you that's going to help you, and it is free and you can. So it is called the Shatter Your Income Ceiling free masterclass that I delivered this week on Tuesday. And it was so good. I got so much wonderful feedback, even from clients who've been in my world for over 2 years straight and have done everything that I've put out, said that it was so fresh and it got them thinking. And it was just amazing. Like the ahas that actually come from that was so interesting. So if you would like to check out the Shatter Your Income Ceiling free masterclass, then please just head to the link in the show notes and it is there for you. I cannot wait to see what comes up for you in this because, yeah, it truly is one of those things where you have this unconscious threshold and you may not be aware of the same patterns or behaviors coming up, but you always seem to kind of plateau around that amount. But there is something you can do about it. So within that, there are lots of practical things that you can actually do to really start to go a lot deeper into where they may be uncovering, where there may be self-sabotaging behaviors coming up, so you can actually begin to eliminate them and move through them and transcend them so they no longer hold you back. Now, with that said, let's dive into today. So how to clear your money blocks once and for all. So let's just go through a few things that I kind of jotted down as I thought, well, how do you really clear them once and for all? And the brutal truth is that some you can, absolutely. Some you can definitely clear and they don't seem to come up again. But there are some that are really so deep rooted. And the reason why they're so deep rooted is because they are so connected to your inner child or to your shadow. That is so much deeper than surface level. So I just want you to explain that when there is a particular money block, remembering money blocks are not always directly having to do with money. Sometimes they are indirectly related to money. But when they come up again and again and again, I believe that it's an opportunity for you to dive deeper and to uncover why it is, like what is the story behind it? Because there is normally a story behind it, whether it be conscious or unconsciously, that you're telling yourself around why you cannot overcome this certain challenge. But remember, every block has many different layers. We are all very multifaceted, multidimensional people with very big histories. And now, depending on how old you are, depends on how long you've been on this earth and how much of a history that you have, how many experiences you have, how many situations you might have been in. So the first step in being able to clear your money blocks and for them to no longer hold you back is first up actually being aware of what they even are. Now I know you probably heard it all before, like, okay, yeah, awareness is key. All right, but I know what they are. I've journaled and I found a few, but I mean deeper than that. Because when you've had that moment of just complete declaration and certainty in like, I'm done with this, I am done earning this level of income, charging this way, attracting these kind of clients, I am done. I want to elevate my business, elevate my brand, go to the next level, like really experience what true freedom is because essentially that's why we want money, right? Money is a source of freedom, time, choice, opportunity, all of it. So once you have decided that that is it, and you know that your experience with money, your relationship with money is something that's holding you back, you make that decision to actually go ahead and change it and no longer avoid it. So you may have heard me say before, but your relationship with money is on a spectrum from one end being total avoidance and the other end being complete control. You want to be able to find that middle ground, that equilibrium within the two. Because once you go there, you build neutrality with money. So then it doesn't feel icky or constrictive or anything like that. And it doesn't matter how much is flowing in or flowing out. You still feel neutral, grounded, and calm to be able to make the decisions that are in line with your true north. They are in line with who you are and what you really want. There is no ego at play. So first off, once you've gathered the awareness of what they are, then you decide that's it. I'm done. And then the next thing is actually to begin to become that person who would act like that, right? Let's just say you're a 7-figure business owner, okay? Are you going to be avoiding money? Are you going to be avoiding taxes? Are you going to be looking at your accounts? Are you going to know your numbers? Are you going to have a set pricing structure? Are you going to be doing more scalable or more one-to-one? Is it more of a boutique thing or is it more one-to-many? What is your business model? Is it supporting you? Are your prices supporting you? Are your structures supporting you? Do you have the team? Do you have the freedom? Do you have the capacity? Now, let's say you do, because when we're stepping into our higher self, she's got all these things set up. How would she be? How would she act? How would she feel? What decisions would she make? Begin to really closely observe your patterns, your habits, and your behaviors, and also any judgments. So remembering your ego, it always comes in two parts. Ego is very multifaceted. It's not just when you feel better than someone, it's also when you feel inferior to someone. So where is your ego at play, especially when it comes around money, success, hierarchy, not just in your careers, in your business, but also within your friends and your family? How is that for you? Because if you judge someone for being more well off than you, the universe takes that as a sign that, oh, well, that's bad. That must be bad. So you don't want that because you're judging her. So let's not give you that because you're not ready for it. Your brain will continually give you evidence for what you tell it is true. And what is true to you is just repetitive thoughts that you've thought a million times that then become your beliefs. They can be complete and utter shit. But when your brain thinks them enough, it's like, oh, okay, that's true. Yeah, we've thought that 100 times, so it has to be a fact. But it could be very, very far from that. So next, once you've decided, right? So you've decluttered, you've gained the awareness, then you've decided what it is that you want and not what you'll no longer stand for. You set those standards, and then you're starting to be the person. You're starting to be her. And the next thing you're going to do is like do the things, make the decisions, make the moves, like change the habit that are not serving you. Change those habits. So when you start to actually do things differently and you abrupt the habits or you begin to interrupt the habits that are not serving you, that's when everything actually starts to become a lot cleaner. You build this momentum, and the momentum just begins with literally you taking one step. You don't need to know everything in order to make progress. It's literally just about putting one foot in front of the other. Once you declutter, you decide, you be the person, you do the things that she would do, then that is when you receive. That is when you actually get to experience the fruits of your labor. And it's a long-term thing. So when it comes to money blocks, again, remembering they're not always directly linked to money. They're linked to success. They're linked to status. They're linked to hierarchy. They're linked to inner self-worth. And when you haven't expanded your self-worth and your self-belief and your self-confidence and your conviction, then that's when it can be really hard for you to receive because you don't actually feel worthy of it. And I know that that could hit a chord because you're like, well, of course I want the money and the clients and all the things and the freedom. Like I do deserve that. But you're unconsciously repelling it because deep down somewhere in either your inner child or in your shadow, you don't truly believe that yet to yourselves, to your core. You may consciously think that, but it's so deep rooted. So Anyway, with that said, I'm going to stop that there because I know that was a lot to think about. And I just wanted to be a short and sappy episode to get you thinking. But in summary, how to clear your money blocks once and for all is declutter physically, energetically, emotionally, what you want. Decide what it is that you want, the standards that you're going to live by. What is it you're going to go for? What you're going to let go of. Be the person. Be the woman. Become the woman. How would she be? How would she operate? Remember, wealth is a state of being, not of having. Then you're going to do the things that she would do. You're going to take action. You're going to follow through. You're not going to let yourself sabotage yourself and talk yourself out of the things that you know need to be done. And then that is when you get to receive and not block yourself from receiving either. So one quick practice that you can do now, and again, doesn't have anything directly to do with money, but it does have to do with receivership. And I know for me personally, it felt so icky for so long. But when someone gives you a compliment, or when someone offers to pay for your coffee, when someone offers to give you something or gift you something out of the goodness of their heart, can you receive that? Or do you instantly go, no, I don't, thank you for the compliment on my hair, but I was actually a bit crazy. And do you reject it or do you receive it? Because when you can learn to receive it, whether it be a compliment, whether it be a friend shouting you a coffee, whether it be something so simple and seemingly insignificant, the moment you begin to realize and you start to interrupt that pattern and you do begin to receive it without feeling obligated to return the favor, return the compliment, when you can actually receive it full-heartedly and not feel icky, and that just takes practice, then you're beginning to open up your heart to be able to receive. And then you are one step closer to then being able to actually receive even more wealth into your life, especially through your business. Because if you can't even accept a compliment or someone shouting you, how can you expect yourself unconsciously to really want to raise your prices for people to pay you more because you have a funny issue energetically with receiving in any form of the word, in any sense of the word? So just think about that next time you try and reject it or push it back, or just think about that next time. So anyway, with that said, go and check out Shatter Your Income Ceiling Masterclass. The link is in the show notes for you. It's going to be so good. Even me watching it back, I was like, God damn, that was amazing. And my slides, chef's kiss. They are so good. So I'll leave you with that and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would absolutely love it if you could please leave me a 5-star review and let me know your thoughts. Remember, everything you desire and deserve is just on the other side of your own resistance. So take that next step.